Hey everyone, welcome back and happy, Sunday. All right, guys. Well, hopefully tomorrow we have hot, messy topics. I told you guys in an earlier video on Up and Adam Channel 1 that I'm going to be keeping an eye out to see what topics we have, just to make sure that we have a good enough live show to do. But we also have Anchor Watch this week. We have a combined recap of Next Gen NYC along with The Valley. And then, of course, we have hot, messy topics on Friday because by then, of course, we will have something. You know what I mean? It's got to be something. So before we jump in, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the comment section. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And also don't forget, guys, I've shared this with you so many times before, but you guys can go to upandadamlive.com, check it out. And you guys can see we have the latest news, Bravo News, Celebrity News, Royal News, reviews, videos, podcasts, and then, of course, an incredible team of writers. But for you guys to kind of engage in the comments, which we super, super highly encourage you to do, all you have to do is go sign up and it's free. Okay. So with that, let's go. All right, guys. So I'm not gonna lie, I was a little interested. I mean, I have been interested in hearing everything that's going on with the Chrisleys. Like, for example, Todd and Julie. Obviously, we know they were granted the full unconditional pardons by President Donald Trump after serving over 2 years for tax evasion and bank fraud. This was involving over 30 plus million in fraudulent loans, and they reunited at their Belmead home in Nashville, which is a 5,200 plus square foot 4-bedroom property. And I see where people are not happy about that. But as far as it goes, Savannah did play a pivotal role in advocating for the release, publicly thanking Donald Trump and expressing that she was happy for the pardons. And clearly we know that they will be back. I don't think that that's not a shock to anybody. I think that at this point, what would be more shocking is if we didn't have them back on TV. But just like a spoiler alert, if you guys are trying to figure out, oh, are we getting them back? Are we not getting them back? We absolutely are. And the reason I know this is because the cameras were up for when they were both released from prison. But if you guys wanted to see the opulent home that they're moving back into, this is it. It's a multi-million-dollar home. And yeah, they're going to be into it. But Todd and Savannah, and I think also Julie now at this point, they're expressing the fact that they are going to be advocating for prison reform and for so many of the harsh environments that some of these prisoners go through and how they're treated based off of race and so many other, I guess, factors, whether they're famous, not famous, I don't know. I'm curious to see what that looks like in a whole or as a whole. Not in a whole, but as a whole. But here's this. Thank you to Entertainment Tonight. Let me just.
Instead of me owning the money. And unfortunately, it took my parents going away for me to truly figure out who I was as a man and what I believed in and really pick up the pieces and put my life back together. And I don't think, and getting sober, like, I don't think that I would have done that had they not went away, because I always had my family as a crutch to lean on,
Mm-hmm.
and it forced me to grow up. It humbled me. It made me more compassionate, more understanding. And those are the positives that I have taken out of this entire journey that we've been on. I let money.
Okay. Listen, if he's sitting there saying, I grew up because my parents went to prison, and because I saw some of the comments where people were like, oh, well, shut the fuck up. And who are you? And I've seen, guys, some of the comments are like savage. And as somebody who is on YouTube, I get a lot of savage comments where people sometimes tell me, Adam, shut up, or Adam, you look like shit, or Adam, you're getting fat, or are you on Ozempic? And I'm like, none of those topics, By the way, no. But none of those topics are what we're here to discuss. And for this situation, he is simply applauding the fact that his parents are back in their family home. I know that a lot of people don't agree with it. However, there's no going back. They already got the presidential pardon. They're not going back to prison unless they do something again, clearly. But at this time, it's like, this is what it is, what it is. So I don't necessarily understand going down this rabbit hole of just continuing to be like, you guys, we hate you. Like, they're here, guys. They're going to be on TV. They're going to, continue to advocate for prison reform. They're going to be in our faces. They're going to be plastered all over major media outlets. They're going to be everywhere. I just feel like that's a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. But moving on. So we have some Selling Sunset drama. Now, you guys know I met Chrishell at a party in December. She was actually like an absolute sweetheart. But her best friend on Selling Sunset, who is Emma Hernan, I forgot, what is she known for? I don't know. It's like not taquitos or enchiladas, or I don't know. She's known for something. But she ended up accusing Emma's boyfriend, whose name is Blake Davis, of derogatory comments, including saying pronouns are dumb and also using racial slurs, which I'm not going to get into, which apparently led to some sort of fallout between Emma and Chrishell. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But now Emma's boyfriend, Blake, is responding, and he's denying all of this. And he said, listen, I only met Chrishell a few times, and that their last interaction was in January of 2024. And he acknowledged that he mistakenly referred to Chrishell's partner, G Flip, with incorrect pronouns, because he said, listen, like, I think it was something to the effect of, I really like your wife, but clearly that's not something that she was happy about. I think we can say that. And he said, the only time we've had a real conversation was when I met Miss Stause at her house with Emma. I regretfully referred to G Flip as her wife, and she corrected me, saying that they were partners and that G Flip goes by the pronoun them. And since I have respectfully used the preferred pronouns. And he said it kind of felt like he was getting picked on by somebody my mom's age, but he is committed to being with Emma, and he noted that he's not part of her friendship with Chrishell. And he said, aside from like, a few breaks that we've taken due to the distance and other personal issues, we are committed to each other, and I'm a supportive partner to Emma, and I fully support her relationship with Chrishell. Which, yeah, I mean, sounds like, based off of what I'm seeing, as long as Emma is with this Blake guy, and the Blake guy messed up on the pronoun situation, I don't think that they're going to have much of a relationship. And let me say this too, and this might be unpopular opinion, but this is my opinion. I do feel like sometimes I have made the mistake. When I went back and I did a live show in LA, and I had a friend who she was in a relationship with my other friend. They identified as lesbians. And then when I went back, she was growing armpit hair, and she was not in a relationship anymore. But she had her friends with her, and she said, listen, I said, I love so-and-so. I love her. I've been friends with her for like 8 years. And her friends jumped down my throat and said, them. They identify as them. And I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. And so they were so mad. And then my friend came up to me and was like, I said, I think I really like pissed off your friends, and like so-and-so, I really did not mean to do that. I wasn't aware. We never had that conversation. And they were like, Adam, it's not your fault. And I was like, why are your friends so angry with me? And they said, well, because, like they take this really, really serious. And I said, well, I would too, if I knew that that's how you felt. I wasn't aware of that. So I think sometimes you can't be so quick to jump down people's throats, because I think that everybody is learning together, unless you're just doing it with malintent and calling or identifying somebody the wrong way on purpose and not acknowledging how they want to be identified. I think that's a different topic. But I don't know. Again, I wasn't there, but I love you guys. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Pop off, smash the like button, show some love, and we'll see you next time.